When the whole world is telling you that your dreams are unrealistic and your life goals are way too big for you to achieve, there's two ways of playing that passion to profession game. The first way is to jump straight into the game and prove everyone wrong, but that's kind of a difficult way of chasing your dreams. The easier way of chasing your dreams is to study people who've already chased their dreams and reached the top of their industry. If you want to reach the top by chasing your dreams, this is step number one.
All my natural predispositions were geared towards being an entertainer. And I knew it from a very, very young age.
For me, to be a Hindi film hero was the dream, but it seemed very much out of my reach until I had an epiphany in life, a realization that I can accept failure, but I can't accept not trying. So, however daunting the odds may seem, I'm going to be brave about it. I'm going to muster up the courage and do what my heart says and hope that it works out for me.
If you watch any of Ranveer Singh's interviews, he always says that he wanted to become a Hindi film hero. But somewhere along the way, he lost that hope of breaking into Bollywood. Primarily because of the process of growing up, the single biggest dream killer in this country today. If you want to become mentally stronger and if you want to fight against this world that's telling you not to chase your dreams, you need to understand two harsh truths of life. The first truth is what I call the white wall theory. Who you were during your childhood, all the things that you wanted, your real personality, that's the white wall, that's the core of who you really are. Now, as you grew up, as you had experiences, the things people said to you, the things people did to you, all that adds layers to your personality. Each person is a painter. They come and paint their own color onto you, and all that gets added to your personality. So once you're an adult, your core is still the same. You still have that white wall inside you somewhere. That's your internal voice. But your real personality, the personality that you show to the world, the things you express in the world are a result of all that paint that's added up on your real personality. So your final outcome, who you are in the real world, may not really be the child that you were once. Your internal voice is always fighting against these layers. The second harsh truth that you've got to remember is the identity of the painters. Many of these painters are actually what the world calls haters or doubters. There's going to be people who are going to doubt your ambition. There's going to be people who are going to hate on your journey. There's going to be people who try painting negative paint on your wall. But there's also going to be positive painters. People who paint more white paint on your white wall. So your job is to get into a habit of not listening to the naysayers. So take that first step of giving a priority to your internal voice. Blunt out all the external voices. If at the age of 40 you land up in a job or a career where you're unhappy, then you can't blame your parents or your teachers or your friends. You'll only have yourself to blame. So as of now, in the present situation, if your dreams are too large and people are telling you that you won't be able to achieve them, take it in through one ear, let it out through the other. If they're looking at you and hating at you, look at them, look away, walk away. Now that's step number one when it comes to chasing your dreams, the core of it. But step number two is the practical life advice, the step where things get real.
तो मैंने सोचा यार थिएटर करना चाहिए. तो 8 बजे रिहर्सल शुरू होती थी, 7 साढ़े 7 बजे मैं पहुंच जाता था. मैं कमरा खोलता था, फ़ैन ऑन करता था, झाड़ू करता था, चाय लेके आता था एक्टर्स के लिए. एक्टर्स आते थे, उनके लिए कुर्सी लेके आता था. दैट वाज माय मतलब जैसे कहते हैं ना बॉटम ऑफ द लैडर, वो भी किया है. फाइनली मुझे एक्टिंग का पार्ट मिल गया.
Don't be fearful. If it's in your heart, if it's coming out of your heart, it's right. Don't think that anything is out of your reach. Don't think that anything is too far-fetched or impossible for you to achieve. Man, if I can do it, my chances were 1,000,000 to 1 and I managed it. Of course, I got lucky, but I made my own luck. I put myself in a position where I might be able to get lucky.
It was very difficult. Sometimes you were just staring at the bottom of the barrel and not knowing whether it will happen.
He would just come home and say, Mom, it's a bad day. But being a mother, you'd realize he's upset about something. He would shield us from a lot of what he went through at that point of time. And now when he's successful, he comes and tells us stories about what he actually did, and he protected us at that point of time from all the pain and the rejection and the comments that he had to hear. But after hearing all what he has to say now, you realize how much he's actually struggled and he's really come a long way.
Now, most people can begin the process of chasing their dreams, and most people get discouraged at step number 2. Why? Because the two aspects of reality that come into play here are what I call money pressure and ego pressure. Money pressure is basically people saying, if I chase my passion, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to support my family? Where's the money going to come from? But in truth, money pressure doesn't apply to Indian cities. You need to remember that India's population is so big and there's so many businesses out there that you can take up any job, you can be a part of any industry and make some amount of money. You can become a waiter at a restaurant, you can take guitar classes, you can do any kind of small-time job. In this country, money pressure is not the real problem. The real problem is ego pressure, your sense of self-respect or pride. I'm not going to take up that job because it's below me. I'm not going to become a waiter, I'm not going to take tuitions. I'm built for bigger things. The ego aspect of it, what I call ego pressure. And this is where most people's dreams die off. They allow their ego pressure to overtake their minds and therefore they get money pressure. So the game is to beat both the money pressure by taking up small-time jobs and to beat ego pressure by being ready to take up those small-time jobs. Remember, it's not difficult to actually go and do the job. What is difficult is to hear people saying things like, hey, you know what? That's the job he took up. Hey, you know what? He's gone to that low level in life. Beat all those aspects of life. You'll beat both ego pressure and money pressure together. Ranveer Singh knew he always wanted to become an actor. Therefore, he entered the theatre industry at the lowest level. If you want to climb a mountain, the first step is to get your feet dirty at the base. If you want to join an industry, join when you're ready to eat dirt in that industry first. But you've also got to remember a crucial aspect of struggling that not too many people talk about. Ranveer Singh struggled. He went through some harsh times, but he never spoke about it. He didn't even share it with his family. If you're struggling, if you're going through hell, you have two options. Either you can sit and focus on all the negativities around you, or you can choose to just keep going forward. If you're going through hell, keep going because one day you'll get out of it. If you're going through a negative time, don't dwell on it, don't talk about it, don't think about it. Just focus on the fact that each difficult day is getting you closer to an easier day. So accept struggles and failures, they're making you stronger. Keep working hard, get into that industry that you want to get in. But once you get into the industry, you've got to focus on step number 3.
He was not one of those कि मैं बैठ के सुन रहा हूँ, मैं सीख रहा हूँ. He was never like that. और मुझे लगता था कि ये थोड़ा overpowering आदमी.
Very few people are as blessed as I am to have the opportunity to do for a living what they love to do so much. I can't see myself doing anything else. Like when I get up and I have to go to work, it doesn't feel like I'm going to work, it feels like I'm going to have fun, you know. And I actually get bummed out at the end of the work day. I'm like, that's it? Do I have to leave the set now? Do I have to go out into the big bad world where there's all this peripheral nonsense that comes along with just doing this? Can I just remain on set? So I love what I do.
I'm not somebody who gets too carried away with success. At the same time, I don't get too bogged down by failure. So whilst it can be overwhelming, you can't get too carried away and you have to know that there is a next challenge just around the corner that you have to do with an equal amount of honesty.
Ranveer Singh has become the top Bollywood actor today and people are calling him the second Shah Rukh Khan. But one thing you've got to remember about him is that he never intended on becoming the second Shah Rukh Khan. He intended on becoming the first Ranveer Singh. Something that stands out about him is his madness, his originality, how quirky he is. Bollywood in India has never seen anything like this, and that's also his biggest strength, originality. If you want to reach the top of any industry, you need a basic formula to get there. And the first part of this formula, the success cocktail, is originality. Now we see a lot of original Bollywood actors, a lot of the new guys are original, but what makes Ranveer Singh stand out is the second ingredient of this cocktail, a combination of originality and energy. The one thing that people always say about Ranveer Singh is that he's a high energy guy. He charges up the entire set when he's working on a film. Even Makarand Deshpande said that about a 23-year-old Ranveer Singh, कि ये overpowering आदमी है. He's got too much energy for some people. But energy, activity, constantly doing things, constantly hustling is the engine for your career. Whether it's serving tea to theatre actors and being enthusiastic about that, or being enthusiastic about taking up roles that most other actors wouldn't take up. That's what makes Ranveer Singh. But there's also a crucial third ingredient to the cocktail. Now, this is a list of all the films where Ranveer Singh was the lead actor. You might see Padmavat and Simba and Gully Boy and think, wow, what a series of films. Look at the first half. These are all the flops along with the hits. His career was super patchy before this good patch, this purple patch. What you've got to remember is that the third ingredient of the cocktail comes into play here. In his own words, Ranveer Singh doesn't get obsessed with failure or success. He takes every single day as a new challenge, every single film as a new challenge. And this aspect of work mentality is called being honest with your work. But what does this really mean? Every single human being starts off their career honestly. On day zero, it's all about going up. But when failures and success come into play, you've got to remember that the game becomes slightly dishonest for some people. Failure sits in your head and becomes fear. Success sits in your head and becomes arrogance. That's called being dishonest with your work. An honest work approach is not giving priority to these successes, this arrogance, or this failure and this fear. Treat each day like it's day zero. Be ready to learn. Work with originality, have high energy, keep executing on tasks, and above all, stay honest with your work. Remember guys, we're living in a digital age where absolutely any career is possible. If you have some very large ambition, don't be afraid to chase it. These are the steps involved. If you want to learn more about how to achieve success in life, I highly recommend you checking out the Akshay Kumar video and the Virat Kohli video. All these three videos are extremely close to my heart because I had to go into my past in order to write these scripts. So if you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and definitely share this video. Until next time guys, from Ranveer and the team, and from Ranveer Singh in some way, namaste, see you all.